Hello and welcome to this week's video. I'm Maria from Sew Through Time, and this week we're doing an 1890s hairstyle using my own natural hair. This is an easy everyday style that takes only a couple of minutes to do. And my hair is right now about mid-hip length. If you have shorter hair than this can be done, but you might want to add if you have, this can be done from about shoulder length hair downwards, and if you have shorter hair or your hair isn't very thick, you might want to add a little extension to the bun part. For this hairstyle, the only thing you really need is either U-pins or bobby pins. I prefer using mostly U-pins, but then a few bobby pins to stabilize the hair. And then you'll need a brush. I prefer either natural boar bristle brushes or something else that has like soft bristles so that you can smooth out that hairstyle a little bit. But in the late 1890s, when this style was fashionable, they weren't really concerned about flyaways. It was a part of the style, that it is a little fluffy, it has flyaways, that's just the thing. They weren't super sleek hair. That's not what they wanted to achieve. So you don't really have to worry about getting it too sleek. So let's get started. To get started with this hairstyle, you first want to comb or brush all the tangles out of your hair. And after that is done, what I like to do is take my paddle brush and just throw all my hair in front. And then you smooth it down, because long hair like this and doesn't necessarily always want to go in the direction you want it to go. So you want to make sure that all the hair is actually pointing downwards. That's really the point of this brushing. Then you want to direct it so that it doesn't start from your forehead, but that it starts about mid point of your head. So when you stand up, it is from your forehead to the back of your skull, about the midpoint there. And that's where you want to hold it up. And then you want to smooth out the back so that there's no weird lumps and bumps. And you want to hold it a good 4 to 5 inches off your skull. And then from this point, you want to hold it and then start twisting. So basically your hair needs to be, for this style, at least long enough for you to do one twist. If you don't have really a lot more room than that, then what you want to do is you want to put an elastic here. But for longer hair, I find that putting the elastic usually just creates problems. So what I do is I just twist the whole thing up. But you want to make sure that the twist doesn't come too close to your scalp in the front, especially. That there is room. And then when you get to the end, it starts to coil down on itself. And now what you do is you grab your hair, and you let it coil around your hand. And then you put the end through in a knot. It will start to get into an actual knot, at least on my hair it did, when I was somewhere between the mid of my back, halfway point between the bra strap line and waist. That's where I could get it to a knot. Before that, I could just coil it and then just twirl it around, and then you can pin it there. Then you want to tuck in the ends, and then before you put any bobby pins in it or any U-pins or anything, you want to grab the sides and start fluffing it out a little bit. This works also for Edwardian styles. There you just need to fluff it out a bit more for the pompadour. That was fashionable then. The only problem with Edwardian things is that the hats tend to usually be so big that they require some sort of stuffing in this part to hold it up. In the late 1890s, this would be fashionable for about 96 to 99. And back then, the hats are smaller so that they don't really need anything in here to hold it up. So just your hair is usually enough. And you don't want to pull it too much out to be too big of a pompadour. Then you can make sure that this is either in the center. You can also leave the top part of the knot like up if this is a more evening style. But for a daytime style, you want to kind of smooth it down, and you can either put it in the center or you can tilt it a little bit to the side. I usually tend to like it better tilting to the side. And then I grab the U-pins and I just stab them in. And this usually holds the actual bun really well together. U-pins tend to, because they're U-shaped, you can get more hair into them. So this usually helps, especially with long, thick hair, the bun to stay better in place. And then I grab a long bobby pin, and this really anchors, and I just poke it to the very base so that it really anchors the bun to my scalp, so that when I move, it doesn't shake and move around with me. And then, now the back is still unsmoothed. I tried to smooth it throughout, but it's the easiest to do afterwards, when you have your hands free. And then if there's like weird bumps like this, just smooth them out towards the bun, and then just twist a little bit. And pin in place. That way you can usually get the back. It doesn't need to be perfect because these styles were not perfectly smooth, but just to get it like so that there isn't really weird bumps. And then when you're pulling things out from the back, remember to hold your bun always in place, because otherwise that will move it. And there you have it. This is one of my favorite go-to everyday hairstyles because, as you could see, it came together really quickly and it looks good with most styles, whether it's history bounding, modern, or even historically accurate 1890s. I'd love to know in the comments below, what's your favorite kind of hairstyle? What do you prefer to use, like just modern hairstyles, or do you do some sort of history bounding styles every day? And I'd also love to know if there is another style that you would want me to do, because I would love to hear from you and I always love the ideas that you give me. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do that. And I'll see you again next time with some other styles. Bye!